Even his own organization did. Remember, they benched him for Andy Dalton, a red stinking rifle.
Yeah.
And that's Bryce Young, former top overall pick for the Carolina Panthers, and a guy that we thought was on a one-way ticket out of town. He looked really good yesterday. The offense featuring more RPO plays. He looks really comfortable in the pocket, making some strike throws down the field. He was the seventh best quarterback in fantasy in week 13, 298 yards and a touchdown through the air. Also 3 carries for 17 yards and a rushing score against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Next 4 games at Philadelphia. Okay, we're not recommending picking them up and playing them against the Eagles in a Bye-Maggedon kind of week.
Yeah.
But after that, get Dallas at home. Attractive matchup as they've given up the 4 most fantasy points of quarterbacks. Arizona at home will be a tough matchup as they have allowed only the 20th most fantasy points of quarterbacks. And then Tampa, again, he just lit up, and they have allowed the most fantasy points to opposing quarterbacks. So he could be a difference maker in the back end of your fantasy playoffs. Only number 25 adjusted completion percentage, but number 10 in total ADOT since week 9 at 9.2. He is making strides in his development, and it helps having a healthy Adam Thielen on the field as well. That connection was dynamite yesterday, and I think you're going to see more of the same. Maybe not against Philly, but definitely see it against the Cowboys, maybe against Arizona, and definitely again in the rematch against the Buccaneers. Give me your thoughts on Bryce Young.
Love what I saw yesterday. I had the Panthers pretty big, +6, and then a little sprinkle on the money line, and I was the biggest Bryce Young fan, man. I thought he was going to get it done yesterday. 26 of 46 passing is not going to jump off the page, but like you said, 298 yards, had a touchdown, also had the 3 rushing attempts for 17 yards and a rushing touchdown. Gets that matchup again against Tampa in week 17, so I think that's probably a must play, although I don't know if he's going to be able to put up the same type of numbers. Love that matchup, week 15 against Dallas coming up. Next 2 weeks, week 16, the Arizona game. You probably keep him on the bench there, but at least in those 2 matchups, if you're desperate, I've really liked what I saw from Bryce Young, and I wrote him off, man. I didn't think we were ever going to see him again. I thought that there was a chance that he'd be backing up in the XFL, but here he is making plays, so really encouraged.
Yeah, I'm very encouraged by what just happened in this Broncos game. Cortland Sutton dropped a wide-ass open throw. Would have been for like a 20, 25-yard game. Bo Nix, very next play, goes right back to him. Exact same route, 17-yard connection, first down Denver. Love to see that. To see that. Giving him a confidence boost there in the process as Denver is driving right now at the 30-yard line. A first play out of the gate, another completion across the middle of the field for about 7 yards. So the Broncos are driving and hopefully going to put some points here on the board. Last point I'll make about Bryce Young is he's a guy everybody's going to write off at a fantasy draft next year. Right? They're like, they're going to remember how much of a colossal bust he was. No matter how he finishes, I think that bitter taste is going to, continue to stand for a lot of people. He is going to be a discount quarterback, dirt cheap in drafts come August, and somebody I'm going to be investing in heavily in a lot of places, probably the 11th, 12th round of fantasy drafts.
Yeah, I was buying in this year, man. I was like, new coaching staff, it can't get any worse. I was comparing it kind of the Trevor Lawrence situation where year 1, at least with Doug Peterson, everything looked much better, right? And the Jags even won a playoff game. You don't see that a whole lot, though. Obviously, like he gets benched as a rookie. They bring in Dalton. It's like, here, sit and learn, and then to see it again his second year. But I was talking about this earlier. A lot of it has to do with system. He obviously was really down on himself, so looks like he's playing with some more confidence and smiling on the field, which helps. And his teammates seem to like him too. Xavier Legette 2 weeks ago had a really bad drop. Went back to him a couple times yesterday. I'm with you. I like Bryce Young moving forward, at least as a fantasy option.
Yeah, no question about it. All right, let's go to Rico Arena Suave. No, it's actually Rico Dowdle of the not Denver Broncos, Dallas Cowboys. First down Broncos, another catch for Cortland Sutton there as they continue to drive. But Rico Dowdle, a monster Thanksgiving Day game in which nobody watched. Well, maybe you did. I was watching Illinois throttle Arkansas in basketball. Good for you. ILL, baby. Rico Dowdle, 22 carries, 112 yards, and a touchdown on the ground. 3 catches, 11 yards against the miniaturized Giants. He was the 4th best running back on the week. Next 4 games, Bengals, 18th most fantasy points allowed at the running back position. Then, listen to this, at Carolina, First round of the fantasy playoffs, the most fantasy points allowed to RBs in Tampa, 17th most, and then at Philly, 29th most. He is a guy that's, I think, going to help you advance out of the opening round of your fantasy playoffs. Really been impressive since week 9. Number 10 in yak per attempt at 3.19. Number 13 in total missed tackles forced with 15. I can't believe it's taken Mike McCarthy this long getting him the rock 20-plus times a game, but I think he is going to be a certifiable, undeniable workhorse the rest of the season. Really been impressed with Rico Dowdle.
I have too. In just the Dallas offense. I've been betting them probably way too much the last couple weeks, but I've been encouraged, man. I mean, they're passing to set up the run, which has helped them out a little bit. And I know a lot of people are going to be scared off because of the injuries, and Dallas might not be playing for a whole lot down the stretch. But like you said, Mike McCarthy has finally made him the primary back, and it's paying off for Rico. So I like some of these matchups. And again, especially this time of the year, man, with all the injuries we're seeing, Christian McCaffrey, Jordan Mason, some of these backs banged up, I think he's a solid option.
Oh, Devon Bailey. Oh, just fell short by a yard for the longest catch. But that is a reception down to the 1 yard line. I think Devon Bailey is going to get additional opportunities, obviously, in this game. First and goal for the Broncos. And, is he in? No. Down to the half-yard line goes one. Was that Jaleel McLaughlin? I think it was. You were talking off air about first-time touchdown in this game. What was he, 17-1, 12-1, something like that?
Yeah, 17-1. Now, I believe that was Javonte. Yeah, Javonte just got that last carry. So McLaughlin right now, 3 for 13 yards. Marvin Mims, 1 for 4. Was that Marvin Mims with the carry before that? And then Javonte's now got 2 for -1 yard, so not a great start for my over on the rushing prop. But they're really mixing up the backs here.
Yeah, we're going to have the Tech-Mobile sounder here in a second if we get a touchdown score. Let's continue the conversation. And how about the lad McConkey? Oh, my goodness. What a PPR performance for him. 12 best in half-point PPR at the wide receiver position. 12 targets, 9 catches, $117. Did not find the end zone down there in hot Atlanta. Next 4 games at Kansas City, Tampa, Denver, at New England. So 3 of the next 4 matchups quite positive for him. Since week 9, he has caught 77.9% of his targets. He is number 8 in yards per route run over that stretch, 11.9 and 8.9. We have a touchdown! Devontae Williams! The juggernaut is coming out, man. What's he at now? Even yard. 3 carries for a yard.
Let's go.
But that yard, 2-yard touchdown run. Way to go, Broncos, as Denver is about to go up 7-0 on Cleveland. Not a great start for your Cleveland Browns, plus 6.5, but lots of game left. Give me your thoughts on Lad McConkey. I think he is here to be a top 20 wide receiver, half-point PPR rest of the season, right?
Yep, I just made a trade for him in a dynasty league because I think Lad McConkey, I've been saying this with Mario for like the last 6 months, man. I think he only continues to get better every year. He's already an excellent route runner. Watch Georgia, their wide receiver room without him, and he's only going to get better as he develops a NFL body. He's got to get a little bit bigger. What scares me is there's some uncertainty right now about this knee injury. In fact, I saw a direct quote right when I was getting into work out of traffic, and it said, Lad McConkey, it was from Harbaugh like an hour ago, Underdog had it, and it was Lad McConkey going through some things. And I wanted to quote tweet it and said, ain't we all, brother? But whatever that means, I guess he's dealing with a knee injury. That's the only thing that scares me off. I'm buying into the Chargers passing attack. I'm buying into the Chargers defense. I'm buying into McConkey. Hell, I might even play a Super Bowl future. But I really like the schedule. As long as he's healthy, man. This is kind of concerning a knee injury, though.